It keeps on getting bigger through the drilling that we're doing. We see grades, resource improvements, potential new discoveries, etc. We expect a substantial improvement on the next study based on three factors. One is the resource. I think will get bigger and better, as you say. Hopefully improved grade, definitely more ounces. There's significant scope to optimize the mine plan, like compress the mine plan, make the production rates bigger, etc. And also on the metallurgy, lots of scope for improvement.
When it comes to mining stocks, precious metals, and cryptos, you need to go to Mining Stock Wealth. And welcome, this is Kerry Lutz, and you are watching Mining Stock Wealth.
It's time for a sponsor update. I've been interviewing this person for several years now. It's hard to believe. It seems like several years. And a lot of good things are happening with this company. I'm talking about Osino Resources. You know them well. Canadian Gold Exploration and Development Company. The CEO, Heye Daun, is with us now. Heye, you're focused on exploring and developing Twin Hills gold discovery in Namibia. You've had some drill results. You've been the news flow out of Osino has been quite impressive, all with good results. And I think we're about to reach an inflection point in the company, and really excited to have you on here again with us. So I'm just going to read part of a quote from what Ross Beatty said about Osino. Osino is a good example of the things that I actually like and therefore invest in. And the very first thing that Osino impressed me with is the CEO, Heye Daun. So when you have people like Ross Beatty saying nice things about you, that's all well and good. But in the end, you have to deliver the results, right? I mean, it's nice when the market likes you and everything's going well, but now we're in a market where the sentiment's bad, but you can't let that get in your way. How are you staying focused now, and what's next on the agenda?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, Ross has been generous with his praise, but it's based on sort of my focus on execution and delivery. I think that's my key strength. I'm very good at getting stuff done. And you know, of course, our key aim and vision is to push this project forward as fast as we can to turn it into an operating gold mine. In order to do that, initially it was drill, lots of drilling, which we've done over the last year or two. We're still busy with it, 10 rigs or so. And then in parallel, technical studies to get the project there. At the same time, of course, building a team, keeping the company financed, and just keep on pushing forward. So that's what we focused on.
Yeah, so put out a PEA a while back, and now a lot more has happened since that PEA. I heard you say recently maybe it came out a little too soon. What's in store here? Are we going to have an updated PEA in the near future?
Yeah, look, we had to put the PEA out because people were viewing us as an exploration company, but we've moved, quite a long time ago. We've moved beyond exploration. We've got a real project. This will become a gold mine. And as we all know, there's time value of money. So the sooner we can get it to production, the better. And so for people, or for us to get the market to realize that we are a development company, much more so than an exploration company, we had to put the PEA out. So we did that. I say maybe it was premature just because the project keeps on evolving, and it keeps on getting bigger through the drilling that we're doing. We see grades, resource improvements, potential new discoveries, etc. And all of that has to be reflected in a follow-on study. So I think it will be another PEA early next year, or sort of Q1 next year, maybe a bit earlier, but very quickly thereafter followed up with a feasibility study, because remember, PEAs are there for the market, feasibility studies are there for building real gold mines, and we have to do both at the same time.
Yeah, and obviously you could do what you've done twice in the past and sell it off, but you got the option of also actually building a mine, because the CapEx is not backbreaking. You've got access to capital. How are you disposed here?
It's very simple. It's driven by share price. We need to do what's best for the share price. We need to maximize value for our shareholders. And so, yes, we can build the project, and we will build the project if we have to. But at the same time, for junior developers, single asset developers, to take on projects that have capital that's currently double of our market cap roughly is risky. And that's why I still believe that partnering with the right entity, with a real credible operating and financial company that can help us build a project is better for the share price and is better ultimately for our shareholders. But we can't rely on it. I mean, everybody talks about M&A. I do think M&A will happen. It continues to happen around us. But we can't rely on it, and that's why we focused on delivering a credible project that stands on its own, that we can deliver on our own.
Right, and that makes a lot of sense, but you have to leave the option open because, like you say, it's what's going to be best for the shareholders, and you got a track record, so people know that you know how to find metal in the ground, obviously. As far as the scale of the project, you've got, I think I saw you have 10 rigs going right now. So this project keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, we expect a substantial improvement on the next study based on three factors. One is the resource, I think, will get bigger and better, as you say, hopefully improved grade, definitely more ounces. There's significant scope to optimize the mine plan, like compress the mine plan, make the production rates bigger, etc. And also on the metallurgy, lots of scope for improvement. So all of that we focused on at the moment, and I think we will deliver that pretty quickly. I just wanted to come back to your last question quickly, by the way, is on valuation. Is one of the problems that everybody's got, not just us, is that the valuations are very low at the moment. So projects and share prices don't reflect the intrinsic value of these projects. And that's why M&A in that context is important, because the ultimate price setter is a corporate, and they realize the value. That's why with the PEA, for example, with us and with some other companies that reported recently, the market didn't care because market is dead at the moment. But the real corporates out there, they are noticing and they are kicking around. So that's why I'm not concerned about the short-term sort of share price weakness. I think it's an exceptional opportunity right now to buy the stock at a low valuation, downside protected with significant upside. And as I say, ultimately the project is going to get delivered, and that sort of re-rating is going to happen in time.
Yeah, and I should mention that I am a shareholder in the company, largely because of your accomplishments and my confidence in you. The Namibian jurisdiction, best jurisdiction in Africa, stable and growth-oriented, pro-mining. You got all these things going here. When you look at the potential players who could be interested in the company, without naming names, obviously, there could be some majors that really look to this project to help build up their reserves.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I can't mention names, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to put it together. There are one or two companies that have angles in Namibia, specific angles. But more importantly, if you look at the mid-tiers, they're all very, very profitable. They're paying dividends, but most of them have no growth avenues. So there are very few projects out there that offer growth potential for these mid-tier gold mining companies. And so if we deliver this Twin Hills PEA to the next level, which we intend to do in the next 6 to 9 months, we are hopefully going to get into the sort of elite club of production gold projects that are near term with no issues. And yeah, there are very, very few projects like that around, even on a worldwide basis. And that's why I think those mid-tiers will come to us.
So roughly how much gold, the last PEA, I think I saw 2 million ounces we were thinking about?
Roughly. I mean, formally speaking, I shouldn't add together the inferred and the indicated ounces because it's sort of the TSX issue. But if you do that, just under 2 million ounces currently, it certainly will grow. But more importantly than the total ounces, more important is the sort of production rate. At the moment, we're sitting at about 120,000 ounces a year for 15-year life of mine, 15, 16 years. So it's a very credible project. I would say it's a very good project, but we have a chance to make it an exceptional project. And I think we will do that in the next 6 months. and there are few of those around.
And that's what I was going to mention next is timing. I always say timing is everything in life, right? So to sell now would be really to sell the company short, literally. But there does come a time when it gets so attractive because, like you said, the mid-tiers especially are thirsting. They have no prospects other than what they're producing from now. And they got to look to really kind of line up and really evaluate their options, especially if they're nearby. And really, you're the only game in town here.
Yeah, look, it's going to happen. But for now, certainly for the next year or so, there are a lot of things that play to our strength that we can focus on in terms of execution, de-risking, delivery. Things like getting the mining license, acquiring the surface rights, making the project bigger and better. Just continue to de-risk it. And that in itself will result in a substantial re-rating of the valuation. By that, I mean, at the moment, we rate it at about 0.2 times NAV, which is a commonly used measure. Similar companies to ours elsewhere in Africa, like Osino or some others, are valued at 0.5, 0.6. So that in itself is a doubling or a tripling in the share price. So I'm not suggesting that our share price will do that overnight, but that sort of re-rating is what we can deliver by focusing on what we're good at, and the rest will take care of itself. So for the next year is an exciting one for us.
Certainly is, and well, I find when things are ready to happen, they happen very quickly. Till you get to that point, you're watching the share price every day or however often, and you look and you see nothing is happening. It gets frustrating. Shareholders, though, basically understand this. Osino shareholders and have expressed patience, haven't they?
Yeah, look, I mean, 2/3 of our company is held by long-term, large, well-known North American specialist funds and the insiders and founders, Ross Beatty, Resource Capital Funds, and those sort of things, sort of entities. So those are all very, very stable. So yes, they do understand it. And I guess just like us, they're excited because the downside is protected. I mean, how much lower are we going to go from here? But there's very significant upside. So I think everybody's excited. Of course, we need the market to sort of play ball as well. But we can't control the market. So all we can control is the stuff that we do in Namibia is delivery. That's what we focused on.
Yeah, and results. And so how big can this project get, do you think? I mean, you own a vast land package and you keep building out, stepping out from there. How big can it get?
So I think there are three areas of growth. One is, of course, the operational improvement and the sort of incremental growth that I spoke about earlier. The second one is the sort of game-changing additional discovery, which I think we have a very good chance of making that within trucking distance, within like 5 or 10 kilometers of the existing project. So, and there I should add, that is very significant torque because, you know, once you've got a central processing plant, every 100,000 ounces that you add, mineable ounces, add about $100 million of NPV. So that's a big kicker. And then the third avenue, of course, is new discoveries elsewhere along the belt. We are quite active. So that's what the sort of professional investors call the optionality. And we have significant optionality for further discovery. Of course, those things don't happen overnight. Now, to give you one example, our neighboring mine, Novichok, which used to be owned by Anglo, was built in the late 80s on 1 million ounces. 30 years later, they've been in constant production. They have produced over 2 million ounces, and they still have 5 or 6 million ounces left. That's a world-class project. That's 22 kilometers away. And I think, we might, over the next 5 or 10 years, I do think we will show, or this project will show a similar growth profile.
So like we're saying, the results are coming in now. The efforts are starting to get rewarded. The market, hopefully, at some point is going to take notice, but obviously potential acquirers are already taking notice. We've got a PEA, revised PEA coming up shortly. So if you're interested in this company, and I think you should be, I am certainly, go over to osinoresources.com, sign up for the notifications so you get the latest drill results, which have been coming high at a really prodigious rate. It seems every 2 weeks, I open up my mailbox and there's more drill results. And obviously with 10, 11 rigs going, that's the reason why. The tickers in the US, it's OSIIF. And of course, in Canada, it is OSI. Heye, wish you the best, and we will talk to you again real soon. If you got any questions for Heye, just shoot me an email to kl@kerrylutz.com. We'll get them answered. Otherwise, click the contact tab on the website. Heye will definitely get back to you. That's one of the great things about this industry is that the CEO will actually connect with investors to give you the latest news. Heye, we'll talk to you again real soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you for your ongoing support. Bye-bye.
Mining Stock Wealth.